Hello everyone, hello from this beautiful beach here in Denia, in Spain, where I'm hanging out and feeling like there is something important that wants to be communicated through me towards you. And that has to do with the feminine way of creation. Now, first of all, I have no fucking clue what the hell that is. But I know it's an important part of my path right now to figure it out. So I feel like I want to share what I've found so far. So in order to explain this to you, I really need to introduce the concept of the feminine and the masculine, not as, men and women, but more like these different energies that are present within every man and every woman that have to do really with the way we engage with the world, whether that's more of the masculine focused, goal-oriented, proactive way of making something happen, or it's the feminine way of receiving, of enjoying, of just kind of being open to see what is coming your way and to accept or reject it. And it's kind of important to look at the feminine way of creation, I believe, because our culture has a very strong bias towards the masculine when it comes to the way in which we create a business, the way in which we find a partner, the way in which we achieve any kind of goal that we might set for ourselves. And it has this sort of bias towards you have to set these specific goals and you have to make a strategy of how you get there, and you have to follow these specific steps. So it's very much a focus on form rather than essence. Because form actually has to do with the masculine, because the masculine is concerned with the external shape of things, whereas the feminine is concerned with the internal shape of things, of how am I experiencing this? What is the essence of this? So for example, if we're talking about business, the masculine way would be like, for me, for example, to say, hey, I have a coaching business. And nobody gives a fuck. Because I don't give a fuck. But because actually the essence of what I'm doing is what's important. And the essence of what I'm doing is that I love creating spaces for connection with people. And spaces that bring out the best in us. And that's what I care about. That's what my heart cares about, my body cares about, what I fully, totally enjoy doing. And for me, the form of it, whether you call it coaching, whether it takes the shape of some kind of intergalactic bubble that we create together with some of you guys or something, I don't really give a damn. I don't really care. Because it's really about coming back to the essence of what this is. And I feel like it's such a fucking trap, really, especially for women, because our bodies are naturally predisposed hormonally towards a more feminine way of operating. And it's such a way of self-fucking up to just really try and beat ourselves down into the masculine path all the way. And it's kind of been really important for me because in the last couple of months, I've been through this process in which I approached a project that is very important to me and to my heart with that masculine approach. So I met some people that were really amazing people, and rationally, it was making perfect sense for us to work together. And I was just really trying to make that work, and I was really trying to, just sit with them and come up with a strategy and come up with a business plan and come up with how is this thing that we're doing making money and all of that. And the actual value of this whole process was for me to see that this was not my way, not anymore, not in this moment of my life. Because in this moment of my life, I feel like what's really important for me is to connect back to the feminine way of creation and to learn how to operate from that space so that I can integrate it back with the masculine and have them working together beautifully. And in that sense, what I ended up doing was I just followed my intuition and I contacted a couple of people that felt just really close to my heart and felt like there is something there that makes sense and it's raw and I cannot put my finger on it, but it just feels like we should create something together. And I invited them to do so. And it's been this incredible journey in which I feel like just within a month we've grown so much just from each other's presence, and it's just been an incredible experience for me. And actually today I had a big breakthrough related to that I would like to suggest to you to kind of consider. And that has to do with the feminine way of creation, not just in terms of tuning into our inner experience and allowing things to grow out of us. Like you can imagine like a tree that's just like growing its branches in all kinds of weird directions because it just feels right to grow that way, rather than, hey, I'm gonna grow a branch right over there, So it's kind of, just this growing process. And today I connected to really the power of creation from a space of receiving. So how do we create by receiving? Well, there's different modes of receiving. We can receive with our heads and be like, oh, this makes sense, let's do it. Then we can also receive from our hearts. And our hearts are basically like, I'm so much appreciating, having the opportunity to do this and this and this, and this opportunity is coming my way. And then there is also receiving from our bellies, from our lower parts of the body. And that has to do also with sexuality. And that's actually, in many cultures, it's considered the birthplace of creation, and it makes sense because it's where all life begins. And from that space, the feminine way of creation, honestly, can feel like a freaking orgasm. It's when you connect to how much pleasure you're experiencing of being able to have this opportunity to experience everything that's happening in your life right now. Every opportunity that's coming your way, every project that you're doing, every relationship that you're building with people, and every step that you're taking towards something that feels like it's aligned to your essence and to who you are. And that's such a blessing and such a gift to actually experience creation in that way. To drop this whole idea of I need to be chasing after things and be like, okay, but actually what happens if I fully allow myself to indulge myself into what I'm creating right now and allow that to grow just from that appreciation of it? So my question to you, and that applies both to men and women because we all have this feminine and masculine aspects within ourselves, is really about how can we allow more of that feminine way of creation to happen within our lives. So how can we allow ourselves to move towards our goals, not with the way of I'm gonna focus on this, but with the way of I'm gonna just fucking receive the joy of having this opportunity, of having this project that I'm working on, of having this amazing relationship with these amazing people in my life, of having this specific moment I'm living right now in this very second, in which I'm just fully allowing myself to be grateful and to enjoy the juiciness of this life, and it's just such a beautiful space, guys, and I really wish and I hope that you connect to it. And I wish you the most beautiful day ever. Lots of love.